There seems to be some confusion between the overlapping symptoms between BPD and psychosis, so I thought I'd come here and talk about that. So paranoia and suspiciousness. So in BPD, the paranoia is typically often stress related, like my friends are secretly mad at me and they're gonna abandon me, right? That is something that comes and goes very quickly. In psychosis, it is often persistent delusions. They're fixed false beliefs. So like the government is watching me, right? The government's watching me through my phone. The government's sending me messages. Dissociation and feeling unreal. In BPD, the episodes of dissociation or depersonalization is feeling like numb, outside of your body, or like reality isn't real, and it's often triggered by stress. In psychosis, more severe and like prolonged detachment from reality happens, and sometimes with a loss of reality testing. Hallucination-like experiences. In BPD, stress can actually cause transient hallucinations, kind of like hearing your name called and seeing shadows. These are usually very short-lived and they're not persistent, but with psychosis, they are frequent, they're longer-lasting hallucinations, usually voices, right? Carrying conversations. You can also have some visual distortions that are really consistent. Intense emotions leading to distorted thinking. In BPD, you can experience extreme emotional states that can actually create a temporary distortions in how somebody interprets others' behavior and maybe what they're saying or doing. So they didn't text me back, therefore they must hate me, is very common a thought. In psychosis, it's the thought disorder that persists even when emotions actually settle down and they're more regulated. So with psychosis, you have disorganized speech, illogical connections. Identity disturbance versus delusional identity in BPD. In BPD, you have chronic confusion about your self-image and your values, right? I don't know who I am or even what I want. And so people really struggle with that self-identity. In psychosis, they have a fixed false identity beliefs, such as like, I am a prophet, or I've been replaced by a clone. Interpersonal sensitivity in BPD is an extreme fear of abandonment that can cause suspicion of betrayal from others. And in psychosis, the social withdrawal may come from like this paranoid delusions and not abandonment or fears. The transient versus persistent symptoms. So in BPD, the psychosis-like symptoms are usually transient, right? They're stress-related and they're very self-limiting. But in psychosis, symptoms are generally chronic, they're pervasive, and they're not tied just to interpersonal stress. And the main difference between the two, in BPD, reality testing usually returns once the crisis or the stress passes. In psychosis, the symptoms are more stable and persistent and less connected to immediate triggers. I hope this helped everybody understand the differences between the overlapping symptoms with BPD and other psychoses, and stop throwing out like they have BPD or I'm BPD just because you are emotionally dysregulated. Have a great day. I'm Rachel, licensed psychotherapist, licensed in 8 states. Have a fabulous one.